Terminator Reboot, because James Cameron says another Terminator reboot is in discussion.
Why?
The director says he would want the movie to focus on the AI side of robots. Like, I'm assuming that the Terminators that come back from the past already have AI. If they're able to like function autonomously and like have conversations and grow as people.
Well, they are AI because AI is the reason why that's who we're fighting. We're fighting AI.
So James Cameron has revealed that another Terminator reboot is currently in discussion, but nothing is set in stone. During an appearance on this podcast, Cameron discussed all things invented, reality and artificial intelligence, which quickly got him on the topic of Terminator. He admitted that he had been toying with the idea of relaunching the franchise, but nothing has been decided yet, even though he already knows the direction he wants to take.
Make your other 8 Avatar movies first, please, bro. Let's get them done.
While speaking about the themes of his movies, Cameron briefly shifted to AI and his interest in exploring it further on screen. He said, and I quote, "If I were to do another Terminator film and maybe try to launch that franchise again, which is in discussion, I would make it much more about the AI side of it than Bad Robots Gone Crazy." It was never about Bad Robots Gone Crazy. What are you talking about? Didn't he make this movie?
Yeah, you had excellent Terminators, at least for the first couple.
I don't understand. It was never about Bad Robots Gone Crazy. It was about an artificial intelligence that took over the world in the future, and the Resistance used their technology to send one back, because they had sent a robot back to kill John Connor, who was the leader of the Resistance, because they couldn't root him out. And he used the same tech to send another one back to protect him. And it was about those two Terminators, a la robots, fighting over the fate of humanity.
Yeah, a nearly perfect movies.
Yeah. So
what? Yeah, you're right. So what would be? I mean, he wants to go back and like tell the robots. I mean, it would be interesting to tell the AI side for after Dynacore, after the thing happens with Dynacore, and they get,
Is it Dynacore?
I think it's Dynacore. Yeah. But after the thing happens, and there's this element of, did they create their own future?
Oh, Skynet,
Cyberdyne. So after they, Dynacore is actually from the cartoon
Jurassic
with
Park,
the little racing cars.
Oh,
was Dynacore. But they might have created their own future. Remember, because he left the tech behind, and that's what they were using to like do the research.
Right. Yeah. It was either a bootstrap paradox or a grandfather paradox, right?
It was the bootstrap paradox. Because the technology that they utilize it doesn't make any sense. And that's one of the things about Terminator that kind of irritated me when they did that. I'm like, God dang it. You already made this too complicated with the grandfather paradox. Now you're going to have a bootstrap paradox, and you're going to make it so that the only reason they came back in the past was because of what you did.
That's right. The first movie was a grandfather paradox, and the second movie was a bootstrap paradox. Yeah. And the third movie was so bad I didn't watch it. What's crazy is it's like a closed loop that just continues the same story over and over again. They have to connect outside that loop.
Yeah, so what they're going to have to do is move past Terminator 2, move into the future where the Terminators have taken over, and then tell that story. Now that would be an interesting story, I think, because we got a little pieces of it, I think, in
Terminator
Salvation. What was the one where the
Genesis?
Yeah, Genesis.
It was Genesis, but it's spelled Genesis, right?
Right. Where they gave away the entire movie in the
trailer, bro.
Yeah,
they literally showed in the trailer that the main character was actually a Terminator.
Yeah, I was like, why did you? That's how much can you not trust the fact that your movie's going to be successful when you do that?
They showed that John Connor was a Terminator.
Was a Terminator. Yeah, it was crazy. So they're going to have to. They could tell the story, in the future. They could. They've not done that yet. And if that would be the only way I would watch a Terminator movie, I would not watch a reboot. I don't think I would want to, but I would watch to see what happened in the future, because we couldn't do it in the 80s. We could not tell that story properly of the future, right? The little small cuts that we got, the little scenes were like really bad graphics.
Yeah, and that's why it was so. Yeah, and when they tried with Christian Bale, right, in Salvation, but that was like real dark too. It like didn't really fit into the franchise, I don't think.
Yeah, so they could do it. I would like to see the rise of Skynet. I could see that, but they'd have to do it well, and they don't bring back anybody. Don't bring back anybody. We don't need a Arnold Schwarzenegger on crutches.
Right. There was also James Cameron also said that like they may have made a mistake in Terminator Dark Fate. He was reasonably happy with the movie, but it might have worked better without the original stars. And you're like, the only reason the movie was even remotely good was because the original stars.
That is true. That's true.
The new characters, like I didn't buy for a minute that what's her name was a Terminator. It didn't work. Like
Summer Glau?
No, not Summer Glau. Summer Glau the reason why Summer Glau worked being this like tiny little woman is because they addressed that when in the series. In the series they address how off-putting that her size and stature is, and her whole demeanor is very Data-like, right?
Yeah, right.
But so she's more, so it feels more like a robot. And actually, in my opinion, it works. But in Terminator Dark Fate, the cast it was played by I don't know her name.
Oh, you're talking about
Mackenzie Davis?
Yeah.
Played by Mackenzie Davis, who is angry and spicy, and she's a Terminator, but doesn't act like a Terminator. Doesn't have like she doesn't. She's not a Terminator. She's not. She's just an ass-kissing chick who happens to also be a Terminator. It doesn't work, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't work. That was the mistake. It's got to be a Terminator.
Yeah, and she wasn't. And then the character that was like the new Connor, if you start the movie by killing John Connor and then force another John Connor surrogate in his place, how do you expect pre-existing fans to like that? Like, yeah, you're telling technically a different story, but you haven't moved the future over. You're literally just replacing everyone.
It's true.
So you're not moving the story along. You're just replacing what everyone likes with subpar versions of the characters. I don't know. Makes no sense.
Oh, let's see. Yorkshire saying she was an augmented human.
Oh, she wasn't a Terminator? I don't know. Yeah, I missed that. I thought she was a Terminator. So she was a human? How did she fight against Terminators? Oh, you know what?
She was augmented.
Who cares? Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. But she was still playing the role of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, she plays the enhanced super soldier Grace in Terminator Dark Fate. Yes, she was not a Terminator. So that's why she has the more human characteristics.
And Natalie Reyes was playing the new John Connor. So they were still taking over for those roles. So you're right.
And that's what people were upset about, is they're replacing their girlifying Terminator, which is not a surprise. I mean, that is what James Cameron is all about. So
I don't really care about the girl aspect. I just don't know. Why did you have to kill off our characters why couldn't you just introduce new characters that were girls?
Well, you know how it is. Then they wouldn't pay attention to the new characters. Well, and that's not what we want.
I mean, all right.
I'm sorry. I'm talking as them, but yeah.
We don't want that. Okay. Anyways, so that's the problem. And so I think if they're going to do a reboot of Terminator, don't.
Do
a continuation, but move past the loop, guys.
Yeah, definitely move.
5 movies in the loop. Can we get past the loop? Can we start telling the story forward? Why are we constantly in the same stupid loop?
Let's just tell it in the future, guys. That's what we need. I know the interesting aspect is about stopping them, but
clearly we're not able to stop them. 5 attempts. Like, and bro, they're never going to make the movie where they do stop them, because then there wouldn't be a movie. There wouldn't be a sequel.
That's it. Which is why you can't kill Jason, or you can't kill Mike Myers in Halloween, which they tried to do this last time, because now you have no more Halloween movies.
All right. Well, you know what? That's what we think. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys down for another Terminator reboot? You want to see another version of the loop? Let me know in the comment section below. And on the way there, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and all the buttons. Thank you so much.